a regularly scheduled program in progress. Adrenaline is high, tension thick as a bomb threat. Like it's Roadhouse, Patrick Swayze, people acting crazy. Battle a room full of animals, no one is safe, B. But I bring it to them raw, crack a bottle hardcore. Swing fists and bull sticks, crack skulls on the bar floor. Bar none, I'm a beast in a brawl. Pummeling underlings, they better retreat or stall. Smashing heads through the seats, bring a chair, get it slammed through the wall. Scarred up.
Hey guys, welcome back to the lab. We are here for another episode of Sundaze with the Clink Room. We are joined by one and only Levi from Omaha, Nebraska. Levi, how are you today?
I'm doing good, man. Doing good.
Good. You've got to be one of the only clinkers from Nebraska, I would say. Pretty safe to say, but cool to know. You've come here so that we can learn a little bit more about you within the Clink universe. I've kind of seen your name peripherally around and a little bit more often now. I mean, we're both twinsies today. This is a great hat.
Thank you.
But yeah, let's get into it. Who are you? Where are you from? And what got you into the Clink Room?
So Camp Stories was kind of one of the first ones that hit it off for me. I guess starting off first, I mean, I'm just a hat collector. So,
cool.
You know, I started getting into collecting. I've always worn New Eras, you know, since probably like high school days. So we're talking, you know, early 2000s and stuff. But I wouldn't say I was quite a collector. You know, I'd get one or two a year and rock it all year long, right? Mm-hmm. And my brother-in-law actually got into collecting, like, you know, before 2020, around that time, when Hat Club was really popping. And he was always sending me stuff, you know. I'm just like, I'm good. I got my hat for the year, right?
Yeah.
But then he gifted me the campfire.
Oh, okay.
Okay, cool. So like the campfire, once I got it in hand, I was like, okay, I see what this is all about.
It's different.
Know?
Yeah. Which team?
So, I got Boston.
Okay, cool.
He gifted it for that wouldn't have been my choice. I'm all right, Boston, but it's a beautiful hat. So, I mean, from there it was you know, game on from there. I just, you jump in, you know how it is. And I just collected. And at that time, you know, Clink was during when production shut down. So I was really into watching Clink and seeing all these designs and stuff, but then reading all the horror stories, people are like, oh, you'll never get your hat. So
yeah, I
didn't quite jump in yet until they really started shipping out. And then, you know, I met Don, who I did Camp Stories with, Creature. I met him way before he even remembers, just through the Discord. And you knew Don if you were in the hat community. You know what I mean? You
Discord Donnie at the time.
yeah, you knew Donnie. And I talked to him on, you know, Discord, on other channels, on mock-ups and just other stuff. We followed each other on Instagram and stuff. And when I really started thinking about getting into Clink, I remember I would send him little rough draft sketches, you know, and be like, hey, what do you think of this? And he would recommend like an artist I should reach out to and stuff. And then eventually, you know, he's like, you know, your sketches are getting a lot better. And he's like, what's going on? I was like, I'm just trying, you know, before I was just like doodling something real quick to pitch to somebody. And then I started actually trying harder at my drawing. Mm-hmm. And he's like, you know, you're getting pretty good at this. And then we started just talking more on the daily, and we started kind of sketching together. And that's how we did Camp Stories together. We were actually doing it both on Ibis Paint through, I just had a crappy little Chromebook at the time. And our plan was we were going to get it up to where it was good enough, and then we're going to have someone vector it for us. But he just kept telling me, he's like, dude, I think you can do this. And I was like, you for real? I was like, you're not just messing with me. He's like, no, dude, you're pretty good. I was like, I was like, shit, dude, I'll go buy an iPad today. And so I literally went and bought an iPad. I got Procreate, you know, I got Illustrator. And he told me, he said, hit up Phil, you know, if you got any questions. So I hit up Phil, and I sent him a DM, and not expecting, you know, much. And Phil calls me, like an Instagram, you know, video call, like 5 minutes later. He's like, hey, what are you doing right now? And I was like, nothing. He's like, grab your iPad. And he gave me like an hour tutorial. You know, he's like, all right, write this down. See what I'm doing. I just followed, took notes. And he gave me, you know, the foundation I needed to operate, you know, in Illustrator. You know, and he told me, you know, he's like, you're just gonna have to practice and play around. You'll learn new stuff. And And that's what I did, and I'm still learning. Obviously, there's, so many great artists in Clink Room. I don't really consider myself up there with them yet. I'm hoping one day, but I just learn. I learn and try, and that's how you get it. I watch videos. When I'm at the gym, I'm on the treadmill. Most people are watching a game or listening to music. I'll be watching somebody draw a rose, or somebody.
That's crazy.
Or how to do this in Illustrator, and that's how you learn, and that's where I got where I am today.
Damn, what a story! I had no idea, man. That's so cool.
Yeah.
Shout out to Phil, man. Phil, one of the nicest guys in the community, I would say. No one can ever say a bad thing about him, I don't think.
Nope.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I wouldn't be where I am without Phil, like, for sure. Yeah. There's been so many people that have helped out, like Sierra, Wynn, Flanagan. I'm gonna forget people, but like I'll reach out. Eric, like if I have just a simple question, hey, I'm doing this wrong on Illustrator. This is what's happening. COD. I mean, a lot of them won't know the exact answer because some people work off the desktop and I'm working off the my iPad. So there's two different versions, but somebody usually has the answer, and everyone's super cool about it. Everyone's like, oh yeah, do this, and they'll send me a video or whatnot. But I mean, the community is out amazing. I could not have made a single design without the people in the community.
That's awesome. I see you really active in the Discord. You're really fair. I think a lot of times people pile on certain things, and I see you bring a lot of calm and a lot of maturity to that. So I may not be as active in terms of like responding back and whatever, but just know that I kind of see that, and that was cool. So,
I appreciate that. I actually I backed off a little bit just because the negativity does kind of get to me, you know. And even if I'm not even like defending myself, I'm just defending people in the community. I mean, if it was you, I would defend you. You know what I mean? It's just like, I don't know. I feel like people need to focus on the positive and just, about building the community, not tearing it down. But I understand, the people that have, worries or whatnot about certain things, but you also got to look at it from the other side. Like, you might be wrong. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you don't know. So give everyone the benefit of the doubt until you know for certain.
That's the thing about kind of what I call like hat math. Like some people will say like, oh, because A plus B equals C, then I'll do A plus B and I should equal C. It's like doesn't always work like that.
Right.
So there's always and then that's life. Me and you can come up with the same theory, the same idea and the same project. Yours might outsell mine. It's just part of life, So I think a lot of people, in general, not just Clink, but in the hat world in general, I think like do these kind of things and ends up getting people in trouble or ends up kind of mucking things up a little bit. But we'll talk about that another day. But in terms of you and your stuff, like what kind of inspires your like design aesthetic? Like who like you're a real self-taught. So like are you when you're like going through your concepts, are you is there like a certain style you like to utilize or a certain type of art style or design aesthetic?
Honestly, I feel like I'm still trying to find my style. I feel like my designs, I look at them and they're kind of all over the place because I haven't quite found my exact, route. Like I tried a little bit of everything. So honestly, I'm still working on finding my style. I know when I did $1, like Flanagan reached out to me. He's like, dude, like you got it, that's you. And he was right. That's my only solo that's made it through, And I'll just feel it, sometimes when I'm doing a design, I'll feel it. Lately, I've kind of been getting into kind of like the more darker stuff, kind of, meaner looking stuff.
Yeah.
And I feel like that kind of lends to my abilities a little bit more, probably because I work with like kind of sharper edges and stuff I've noticed with my designs.
Right.
With the teeth and jagged, highlights and stuff like that, just kind of lends to that. but yeah, I'm still trying to find, you know, my exact style. I mean, I hadn't picked up a pen, a pencil and paper since high school before, you know, I started doodling and sending stuff over to Creature, and you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
So I'm still finding me when it comes to being an artist. And that's why a lot lately I've been trying to just do me, you know, trying to find me when it comes to that. I love doing collaborations. But I'm starting to find, like, when I see them, like I kind of know, like, hey, this lends well to what I can do.
Yeah.
I can elevate this, you know what I mean? And if I see one, I'm like, I just don't think like that's my style yet. I don't think I have the style to do that collaboration justice. You know, I'll be straightforward with the person, or I'll put it on hold until I feel like I can tackle it, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Does your creative process change whether you're working on a solo project versus a collaboration?
Um, yeah, I suppose. I mean, because with a lot of collaborations, you know, I'll have a good sketch in hand already. So I'll
Hmm.
just take, you know, their sketch and do it in my style, you know.
Okay.
Um, Whereas if I'm just doing me, obviously I just, like, lately I've been working with you know, I've done two kind of like meaner designs with menacing and wicked, and I just kind of focus first on like the teeth, then I
Hmm.
work off that, you know, and I've kind of just been drawing them into concepts. You know, I haven't been like, okay, I'm starting with a concept in mind and then drawing. I'm just like, I'm just gonna draw and see where it takes me, you know. So, and I did like one with Point. He reached out, called Moonwalkers, and he had it completely done, you know, and but it was in his style, and he's like, apparently people are starting to see I have a style. I don't quite know if I've seen my style locked in yet, but he goes, I think, you know, this lends well to your style. And I had never done like an alien type design, outer space type design. I don't think I have, at least. I was like, yeah, I'll give it a shot. And, you know, I just took what he gave me and I did my version of the alien over his, and I did my version of the dog over his, and I added how I would do the stars, and I added how I'd do the little kind of Saturn planet in there. I liked how he did the moon, so I kept pretty much how he did the moon, and I did it, and he's like, yeah, he's like, that's exactly how I wanted it. He's like, it's better than what I could do. And his was
Yeah.
great, by the way. He's like, but
Yeah.
that's why I reached out to you. And so, yeah.
Yeah. That's cool. So it's like you started as on the other side of it, where it's like you were more of the concept guy, and then now you're on the other side of it now, like you're more of the
Yeah.
artist guy. It's an interesting transition. Not many
Yep.
people do that or have the skill to kind of move from one to another. Could you think of any like normal, typical challenges that you kind of face? Um, you know, learning or even just kind of growing as an artist.
Yeah, I mean, definitely I find my limitations, you know, just when I'm trying to do a design, and I'll just get frustrated as hell. You know, when you do a design with like a lot of specific curves,
Hmm.
or a design that is hard to make kind of badass. So me and Creature keep going back and forth. He keeps saying, no, I just do it how I have it, you know, but I like putting me into the piece. So we got this Amore piece with some Amore eels,
Hmm.
and I can't ever get it how I want it. You know,
Okay.
I can't ever get the eels to move the way I want, and I can't get their faces to look, you know, fierce enough. Um, and I think that's all learning how to shade, you know, just right to get that good curvature, and where to put the exact highlights and stuff in there to really make it pop. And faces are hard, especially when you're doing like a more, you know, they're coming, you know, we're
Yeah.
trying to do it from two different angles,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You know, so like I'll get one how I like it, but the other one will be off, you know, and he keeps, you know, he's gonna be pissed if we're talking about this, but because he'll be like, no, just do it. It's
Just
good
do
how I have
it.
it, you know. I'm just like, no, bro, I gotta elevate it. I know it's not there.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So it's just, you know, I find my limitations with pieces, you know, like I'm still just learning. Like skulls, I'm definitely not. I know skulls are almost a cheat code, right?
Hmm. Yeah.
And they're not as easy as you would think, to make a good skull. So yeah, it's all just going to come with time. It's been a year since I've been doing this, and like I said, I hadn't picked up a pencil since high school, and even then I was just a half-ass piece of shit student trying to get through school, not really trying hard. So, but
did you have any like actual training in art? Like, did you take art classes, or
I took art classes.
Okay.
A lot of that was because those were the ones I could pass in high school, because I just had to get through,
I did that once for grade 12 bio. I did the first class. It was a grade 12 bio, and I'm like, I do not want to do this. So I went to the guidance council. I'm like, what is available in that time slot? So you do art.
Yeah.
I'm like, F it. I'll do art. And I was the worst artist. Ended up being not bad at like collage, because there's no real drawing in that. But I collaged the shit out of that art project. Anything I had to draw, I just got roasted. But you just try it. So
that was it for me. Shout out to Mrs. Darling. She was an awesome teacher. I would take every art class I could, because she was cool as hell. And I liked it. I didn't want to be in class learning about geometry and shit. But I liked drawing shit and making stuff with clay, and she was cool. She gave me an A no matter what, even if my art sucked.
There you go. Are there any specific artists or designers that have kind of influenced you in your style?
There's, they're also great in their own ways, if I could get to be like, there are a few. I'm jealous of like Phil. I can never do that cartoony style that he just nails every time.
There's so much personality to it.
Yeah, he's just got such an awesome style. And but then when I look at people like Milos, like I always love his stuff. It's hard to find one that I don't like that he makes. He's got that fierce style.
Like the edgier,
yeah. He's got that fierce style. It's always so clean. He hardly ever misses, and they're all so good. It's hard. I'm very proud of like what Heather's doing. She's
crazy.
She's come up. She's coming, dude. I tell people, I'm like, watch out. She's coming. She's already shown it. She ain't stopping. She ain't slowing down.
Yeah.
She's got the code down. She's cracked the code, and good for her, man. She's awesome.
I think for her, the big thing is that she is someone who like kind of doesn't give up, and she's not scared to not fail is not the right word, but at least fall forward. Like a wins and lessons thing. So it's either you learn a lesson or you win, and like that's like a great mentality to have, and just not be scared, because like a lot of people would be nervous to put themselves out there, or are afraid to not look the best, or not have stuff that be perfect, and she's just willing to take it. Like if it's looks a certain way, you can tell her, and she won't feel a type of way about it, and she won't take it personal, and
she'll reach out to me. Like I won't even know. Don will send me stuff that they're working on, and I'll be like, she got to fix the hands on that. Like everything else looks good, and then she'll message me later. She's like, hey, thanks for giving the recommendation on changing the hands. Does this look better? And even though he told her, but she's like, he tells her, because he knows she's not gonna be salty about it, and she's always positive. And you can just see her growth, man. You look at the first stuff she did, you could tell she wasn't quite there, but she every month, it seemed like it was just a step up, and now she's about to tear the door down.
One thing for sure that has remained consistent for her, at least, is at least the passion has always been there.
Oh yeah.
So shout out to her.
Yeah.
How do you feel kind of about the intersection between having an art piece and something that's like wearable and fashion? Like there's this fine line that you gotta either. There's a lot of lines you're towing, right? So like, would it be popular? Would it get a good vote? Does it look cool? Is it practical? So like, where do you kind of fall when you're trying to meld these things into something that could be wearable on your head?
Yeah, so I come from two different views on that. When I'm designing, sometimes I'll just design something because it's cool, and I want to try it.
Yeah,
it might not be something that I would necessarily wear, but it's pushing me to try a different piece of art, different style or whatnot. But I do try to obviously make ones that I would wear. And then when I started out as a hat collector, I didn't start out as a clink collector. So when I purchase something, it definitely, I can love the art, but if it's not on a good colorway or something, I ain't gonna buy it,
Yeah.
And I like, a lot more of the simple designs, so I will really like a piece of art that's kind of got all this crazy stuff going on, but I'll be like, I probably won't wear that though. You know what I mean? I like the simple, clean look. So ideally, like I look at Rick Clifton, a lot of stuff he's doing, just like simple, bold, clean designs.
Yeah.
Those are like the wearable ones, to me. And he's another one I'm jealous of, that I'm always like, man, I want to do just like a clean, simple, bold design like he just did. And I'm like, what do I do? I got to think of something like that. And he just makes it look so easy, But yeah, when I'm creating, I don't really necessarily always keep that in mind, because sometimes I just want to push myself and see if I can draw something cool and put it on whatever colorway makes sense for it. Do something crazy that I necessarily wouldn't purchase as a clink, collector. But when I'm purchasing, I'm definitely looking at colorway. I'm definitely looking at simple, clean, bold. I'm thinking, okay, if I'm making this purchase, am I going to wear this hat, or is it going to sit in my drawer? So
that's awesome. What do you hope people take away from experiencing your artwork, whether it's on a hat or another medium?
Just that it's possible. I never ever would have imagined I would make Clink Room hats, right? It's like a dream, right? It's like a year ago is when I started doing this, and I just never would have imagined it. So if you apply yourself, you can do things like this. I'm definitely not like a fantastic, awesome artist, but I work hard, and I learn software, and I learn how to use it, and I take advice, and I watch, how other people are doing it, and I try to apply the same type of things, in my own way. But it's all about practice and applying yourself, believing, just trying. It's a lot cooler as a collector to be able to do stuff that you collect. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Than just to collect. So if it's something you want to do, spend the money. It doesn't cost that much. I bought an iPad for like $300 on Memorial Day sale. Bought $12 app for Procreate, paid the $80 for the year subscription or whatever on Illustrator. So yeah, I mean, that's not the cheapest thing, but if it's something you want to, you got to invest in yourself, right? To invest in something you want to make possible. So I guess just go for it.
Yeah. There's no feeling like it though. Like opening the box and seeing something that you created or you put time into, whether it's your idea or whether it's your art, like there's nothing like it.
Yeah, it's literally amazing. I mean, I I still can't believe I got, rookie of the year with the Clinkies, right? Like that was probably the biggest thing that I opened up, and I was just like, holy shit.
Yeah.
I was just trying to buy a cool colorway a couple years ago.
Now
I got an award for making cool hats.
That's awesome. So you have, I think, 4 that are either in the shop or in production. If we could wave a magic wand and make one of those show up tomorrow, which one would it be?
Of that are in production now?
Yeah, because you've had 2 that are already landed. So those
right.
Those we don't gotta do.
Well, three have landed.
Okay, 3. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But 3, but you've had I think you have 4 that are either in the shop now or in production.
Yeah, that's a hard one, because there's one that I really want to see how it turns out. You probably know which one I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But I also have my first solo and my only solo, which is $1. So, I mean, if I could see that tomorrow, if I could have that in hand tomorrow, I mean, it would be amazing. Okay. And the colorway and they barely changed much on it, so that's kind of a shout out to the designer. Every time you see what they Thursday comes around, you see the preview, and you're just like, oh man, I hope they I want to see what they did. I hope they liked it enough not to change too much. I hope it was up to par. And so that's kind of a just kind of a redeeming feeling. So yeah, that's going to be a big one when I can see my very first one that I did, not collaborating, just all me, and it's in my hands. That'll be a cool feeling.
Yeah, definitely. Not many people could say they did that. I mean, I've had a couple go through, but nothing I've drawn. It's always just my ideas or whatever. So, not many, like, you got one up on me because I can't do that. So, or I can't say I did that. So, that's awesome. So, all right, man. Thanks for doing that. Let's get into the festivities right now. So, Tuesday, we just had the Fresh Colorway drop. So, Topanga dropped. So, we saw a lot of like almost pastel-y style. Really bright, kind of earthy hats here. So let's break them down. So these are Old Ways, Night Sky, and Snow Owls. Do you have any thoughts on these three?
Yeah, for sure. Old Ways is the one that sticks out to me. I like all of them. I like these colors for all of them. I mean, I'm not mad at any of them. But Old Ways is one that I'm definitely. There's two in this whole pack that I've debated on copping. And Old Ways, to me, I really like it in that colorway. I like those just kind of earthy, darker earthy tones on it.
Yeah.
So that's the one that sticks out to me the most.
I really like kind of like the crown colors that they chose because it feels really different. It's almost like a desert thing. I just feel like these, well, the ones on the edges kind of lack a real strong contrast color. Like maybe it could be like a copper or a dark pewter, kind of how Night Sky has it. Yeah, it has like that pewterish dark black
for the outline.
Yeah, for the outline. I just feel like the one on the two on the outside just lack like that punch just a little bit. But the art is still great. I just feel it's a little bit faded. I mean, that might have been like what they're going for, kind of like that sunburnt almost. Like Topanga's in California, right? So it's got to be some like West Coast sandy beach thing maybe that they're
you got to educate me on Topanga. I'm not even sure. I just know that's the hot chick from
Boy Meets World, right? Yeah.
Right, that's all I know about Topanga.
Let's find out. Let's learn some. First thing, Danielle Fisher comes up.
There you go.
It's in Santa Monica, so between Santa Monica, Malibu-ish.
Is it a deserty? Like a deserty type area in California, or just?
Yeah, it looks like it. Western Los Angeles County, located in Santa Monica. Topanga Canyon. That's what I always
Oh, okay. So kind of going for the canyon vibe there.
Yeah, between Malibu and the Pacific Palisades.
Okay.
Yeah. So like Topanga Canyon, and that's what it looks like. That kind of like those kind of colors.
Yeah, for sure. I can see what you mean though, especially with the snow owls. That one kind of almost does kind of, at least from that picture, it probably looks different in hand, but it almost kind of just all blends in, together.
Yeah, like if like the Old Ways, instead of that kind of faded gold, if it had like a copper or something, I think it would just make it just stand out just that much more. Right now, it kind of looks. I mean, maybe that was what they're going for, like something that kind of perished in the sun and it's just been sitting there.
Yeah, it makes sense.
And then we got Thunderbirds, Swallows, and seventh inning Seagulls. What do you think of these? This is the bird slide here.
Yeah, this is the bird. Flanagan would love this one, the bird man. Shout out to Patty. Swallows for sure. I saw Casey wearing that. Who was it? Paco did like a little preview Instagram story, and I saw Casey wearing that in one of the videos he posted. And that one, I like the OG of that. I like simple, kind of the tattoo style.
Yeah.
I like the colorway. The chrome is awesome. The greens, that mint on there underneath, it's
almost like a dollar bill. It's almost like
it really is,
locked like a dollar bill. All three of these are solid though.
They are good. Yeah, the Seagulls, that one's super clean too.
Nathan. Those guys, cause a lot of havoc out in San Fran.
Right. That's
Yeah.
I didn't even know about that with because they did the newer version, right, with the side patch, and then that's when I learned the whole story about them stealing fries and stuff. Right.
Yeah. So the one that I picked up from this drop, I ended up going for the one I regretted most not getting. So I ended up grabbing Ephra's.
Oh, nice.
So I normally don't like mono, like earthy stone. I feel like this would be a typical hat I get as a two-tone hat, but just something about it with that like kind of teal popping off, that kind of sandy beach color, and then the teal under, and the simplicity just kind of it. Like I feel like they don't really make clink hats like this almost anymore. You know, like now, like the art is just so advanced almost.
Right.
That something like this might not get passed, but just the simplicity,
Clean, simple,
the
bold.
less is more. Yeah, like this is to me like this just screams early 2.0 kind of hats, and it was always a hat that I missed because I didn't think it would be that that raised and punched up from the mock-up because it just looked really flat from the mock-up, but just I don't know, something about it. I couldn't miss it again. So
Yeah,
this is
and
the one I grabbed.
you showing that, I mean, the picture they had does not do it justice because you can see how much it's raised right there.
Yeah. Look at
And
the
that
textures.
the thick bold outline is super cool on there.
Yeah, and then they just didn't like just fill it in lazily, right? Like it's like three levels.
Oh yeah.
And then the head has got some like feathering and textures, and I don't know. And then the thunderbolt is nice and strong, like just really good. Like less is more art.
Yeah, no, I
He
like
did a
that.
great job. He did a
Yeah,
good
that's
job.
not one I was really considering. You showing that is kind of changing my mind on it.
Yeah, I mean, Efra's just one of those guys, man. Like he's so good. So, passing up on his stuff is like I usually end up regretting it. And
Right.
from the beginning, I didn't get the original Thunderbird, and then when I saw it come up, I'm like, yeah, all right. Like if you don't get it now, who knows when you'll get it?
What was the OG colorway for that?
I want to say it was like almost like a southwestern kind of like reds and greens. But let me
Like a two-tone?
I think it had black in it. Oh no, okay, yeah. So it was a Sedona red and teal.
Okay.
So essentially, it's colored the same way on the front, but it's like a cardinal red.
Okay.
Like a brick red, almost like colored like this.
Yeah.
And then that same teal as the button and the visor.
Oh, sweet.
So it's like a kind of like a northwestern, almost like native colorway type.
Very cool.
Yeah, almost like the Diamondbacks. All right. So now these next hats are coming up for their last call. So this was the week of the Horsemen. So 4 Horsemen and 2 Archangels. This was Matt Bell's collection, and he teamed up with I think 5 different artists. So Josh Foles, Milos, and Flanagan came up with these. I do not remember the names. Oh no, they're right there. So they had to be renamed. So Thanatos, Scourge, and Ares were these. What did you think of like a Clink kind of takeover like that? This was like the first of its kind almost.
Yeah, well, as a designer always trying to get in crits, first thing was I was jelly. You know?
Yeah, didn't get tapped on the shoulder.
No crits this week. Damn, you know? But I think it's a cool idea. I like this concept a lot, you know? So it's all going to be about nailing the concept, you know what I mean? Which obviously they know as well, but I think it's a great concept. So I would hope it's done sparingly, just as an artist that's always trying to get in crits, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, I
you
mean,
just got to get involved in one of these projects, and then you'll
maybe if someone will reach out to me, I'll get but yeah, no, it's a cool idea. I do like this concept. So
one thing it does is like at least it breaks up the monotony of always 10-6 10-6 10-6. Like even if you take time you get 1 week off, then it just means the next week's crits is going to be double hard to get in, and it just raises everyone's level, I think, you know.
Yeah.
Like,
That week
selfishly,
off.
yeah, it sucks. One opportunity gone, but it's going to make you kind of work that much harder, because you can't get in with any like half-ass stuff, essentially. So
honestly, it kind of almost works as a blessing sometimes, because you'll feel like, oh man, that got missed, but I'm not going to resubmit it, so I'm going to do it better, you know.
Yeah.
Then you do a newer version, and then you're kind of, you see what you did, and you're happier, you know, you had that time, because you're like, oh man, I can see what I had missed on my first version, and I made it this much stronger. And then you get rewarded, you know, they see it. So you know, it can be a good thing, but it is kind of nerve-wracking when they have that, and you're like, oh man, they're gonna miss my design because I got a week off crits, you know.
yeah. I think this got met with initially some pushback, but what I do enjoy about this set of 6, that at least if you only opt to get 1 or 2, you don't feel like they need to all go together. So I think these hats are all good enough to kind of stand on their own, but it's real cool as a collective. So
for sure, I agree. I don't think anyone's gonna look at that and be like, oh, well, did you know,
you're missing
where are the rest of the Horsemen? Like, it's like you said, they're standalone designs, and then you put them together, and then you explain it, and everyone's like, oh, that's cool. So yeah, it works both ways.
Yeah, exactly. So let's take a look at the other 3. So Honor, Limos, and Rejoice. These ones are killer too. Any thoughts about these?
Honor is the one that sticks out to me the most. If I were to buy one of these 3, and that's one I have considered, is getting the Honor. It's just a really cool design. So that's one that sticks out to me the most. I do like the colorway. Is it Limos? Is that how it's pronounced?
I'm assuming so. It sounds Latin or something. Yeah.
Limos. I do like the colorway, and it looks like on the side patch they got some probably metallic gold outline, which will be cool too.
Yeah.
I wish it had more horse in it, is the only thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The horse is kind of an afterthought in that, which I guess, you know, it's about the Horsemen. So
yeah, I know some people hate the side patches.
Yeah.
And I do like Limos' side patch, because Aurelian is French, so that looks like a France flag, basically.
Yeah, it does.
So I do like that little tidbit there. But yeah, I think it's like a cool concept. I wish we could see it kind of more often, and see just, you know, collective projects like this where artists can kind of get together and do something different. But yeah, hopefully this spawns more cooler and different stuff. So
for sure.
And then the last thing, this shock dropped earlier in the week. So Chummy got the scanners and the X-ray. So normally you get an image that has like a regular image and then the X-ray. Right. This one's a little bit different. They look very close together. I had to like really look. It's the shark that's different, because the guy's already a skeleton kind of already.
Right.
So what do you think of these 2?
So do you have the OG in hand?
I don't remember if I bought it, to be honest.
I would like to see it in hand. Specifically like the scanners. What I like the most about it is the wave.
Okay.
It's very tattoo style.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The other one's super appealing too. I love the colorway of the X-ray, but you don't get that wave effect like you do in the scanner. It's kind of that almost you know, the reflection of the wave in where the curl. But that looks like in hand it would be freaking awesome. The wave is what really stands out to me.
Yeah, they've been done so many versions of this. So the original X-ray, it was like so clear that it was an X-ray because it was black and pewter and white. This X-ray version, the blue version, it's almost harder to see, I guess. Maybe because the blue, you feel like it's water almost. Maybe that's why.
Yeah.
But it is still pretty badass. But it doesn't, to me, it doesn't immediately look like an X-ray, I guess is my point.
Yeah, I kind of had to search for it too. I was kind of thinking about doing a skeleton shark, and then this one dropped. And then I remembered, I think, who was it? Someone did a skeleton shark design like a year ago. Can't
Oh
remember.
yeah, I think I remember that too.
Yeah. So, but anyway, yeah. When I first looked at that one, I didn't notice the skeleton at first either. But the colorway really popped. And I do like it. It kind of gives it the white capped feeling, the white caps, of the wave.
Yeah.
That kind of stands out. But then the other one has that really awesome. It just looks like a tattoo style wave. How he did the inner like rip curl of it.
Yeah, exactly. And he also has like a one that's skeleton based, so it's like the skeleton surfing, like right before he gets eaten.
Yeah.
So I think that's like a cool like 3-pack too. So yeah, Kobo's always doing great work. This is awesome.
Yeah.
All right, and then now into the Critz portion. We got these coming up for Critz. So Fear the Night, Heather. I mean, you talked her up a little bit earlier. This, if you would have told me this was a Heather piece like 3 months ago, I wouldn't have believed you.
Right. That's how I felt about. I mean, you noticed it about a month or two ago. You're just like, dude, what happened? Like,
yeah, her line weights have completely changed.
Yeah, she just figured it out.
Yeah,
she figured out her stuff was really flat at first, and she figured out how not to. She figured out how to do the opposite. Her stuff pops now.
Yeah, and everything is there's a reason for everything now too. So like you see her, she's got the shadow there, but then she knows she can bring up that red kind of fur. And then something that was so interesting when I interviewed her, she was talking about just watching content on digitizing and how to lay down different threads and the different types of threads. That was so cool, like for her to put in that work. Yeah. This one, I don't love the crown choice color here. So
the mono black.
Is it like navy and brown? I can't tell.
Their swatch for their black always, it doesn't come super dark black. I always darken a little bit.
Yeah, because I'm looking on 2 different screens. One screen, it looks like it's just a black and red hat. And then on my other screen, it looks like it's a navy crown with a dark brown brim.
Oh, like a little like snaky two-tone.
Yeah, almost like an orange or red under. I'm curious if she meant it to be.
I can
now it's got me confused. If it's just a black and red hat, it's an awesome looking hat.
Yeah, no, I can see what you're talking about now. The brim does look like it's a different tone, like you said, almost like dark,
like dark brown.
Yeah,
even darker than walnut. It almost looks like
the burnt wood.
Burnt wood, yeah.
Burnt wood, yeah. It could be. If that's the case, yeah, I would lose that. I would just go straight black.
Just go straight black and red.
For sure.
Yeah.
She did a great job of putting the outline where the legs split, to show that back leg. I mean, that's just shows her growth.
Yeah.
That's something before, you probably wouldn't have seen. It's like you said, she's getting really dimensional with her work.
Yeah, totally. I'd probably ask her to pump up the detail on the front wing a little bit, but other than that, I think this is pretty solid stuff. Yeah, I like it. All right, moving forward, we got Beach Beer Pong by Corn Slug. I don't know if I'm familiar with Corn Slug's work.
I've never heard the name. I don't remember seeing this either.
I gotta look them up. But what are your initial thoughts here?
It's pretty cute. Reminds me of something that like Creature would come up with.
Yeah.
The art's super good. I mean, super clean.
It's fun, right? It just that's
fun.
One of the words that just comes up.
I'd probably change the colorway for sure. It looks like he's kind of got almost like a button violation and a monotone UV. So those are the first things that need changed. And
interesting. This is their first post.
Really?
Yeah. Corn Slug. Interesting.
The splash of the beer is kind of a little weird.
Yeah.
It's almost.
I guess that's the beer pong part, right?
Right.
All right. Interesting. They got a website, alienant.com, and it looks like it's like a commercial, almost like a graphic designer.
Okay.
So yeah,
Yeah, the shine
designer,
up and
illustrator,
everything.
Adobe certified expert, 20 years of design. Darren Stevens, awesome. Nebraska.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Lives in Nebraska with his wife and 3 boys. Draws cartoons. There you go.
There
See,
you go.
not the only one. I already stand corrected. I already stand corrected. All right.
That's
Corn
awesome.
sweat.
That's
Yeah.
clean,
All right.
man. It's good.
Cool. Now you have some local competition.
Yeah, have to look him up.
All right, Darren. Cool. All right. Keyboard Warrior. All right.
Keyboard
Seamus
Warrior.
and Rusty Bees, 13. This one's badass. The sledgehammer is that old ergonomic Windows keyboard.
I can't.
You
Okay.
can't see it?
Yeah, I'm looking at the keyboard. I wouldn't have known that at first.
Yeah, it's those old ergonomic split ones. So it's got the
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah,
Okay.
the little hand wrist
Yeah,
rest, and then the
I see it
split
now.
keys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep, I can definitely see it now. I didn't at first, and until you explained it to me,
Mm-hmm.
which makes me think a lot of other people probably won't at first, or no.
I don't know.
I kind of get why they did it though with the sledgehammer, because then it adds weight to the one side, right?
Yeah, and it makes for a cool, like it fits their theme, keyboard warrior. So he's using it to hit you with it.
Yeah,
Yeah, kind of like old '80s cartoon, like He-Man
I was
almost
gonna say
style.
definitely He-Man vibes.
Yeah, this one's rad. I like it.
That's pretty crazy. I didn't see this either.
Yeah. I don't know if I love the graphite color, but I do like the blue, the teal. They work well together. There's nothing like really wrong with it, but I just feel like with something so bright, you almost need like a kind of like either like a funky color to kind of go with it. Maybe some type of, I don't know. Like when I think warrior, I think of like Ultimate Warrior. So I would have almost took it there, like just have like a bunch of funky greens and
Oh,
pinks.
the neon like pinks.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
Yeah, but then you run into legal issues sometimes and stuff. So
Yeah,
I do like it. It's cool. It's cool.
it's definitely different. That's for sure.
Yeah. All right. Moving forward, we got rookie card. So Matt Bell, Canadian out of London, Ontario, teamed up with another Canadian, Mike Perry. So that's Mike. I believe this is Mike's first like work into the Clink Room. He's just a major collector and has been collecting for a long time. So shout out to Mike. What do you think?
Yeah, this one's cool. It reminds me of obviously the Kong version. Who did the baseball card one? Was that
I want to say
that was Jay?
Jay Matz, right? He did like I think originally it looked like a Hank Aaron card, and I think they had to change it to make it more generic.
Yeah. So I mean that's what comes to mind right away. But obviously with the Kong thrown into it. But it's cool. It's cool.
Yeah.
Makes
they
me
nailed that like that back of the card like color with the under visor, like that old cardboard comes with in wax. A wax pack with bubble gum.
That's what I'm gonna say. Like when you get this hat, like there better be a stick of hard ass, break in half bubble gum in there.
Yeah. That'd be like a funnier thing too. Just kind of have it ruined a little bit by the bubble gum. It's just fucked up. But yeah,
that'd make for like a cool side patch, right? Do something bubblegum style side patch.
Yeah. That's cool. All right. Gnome on the range. Speaking of J Max, here you go.
Yeah,
there's a gnome and he's on the range.
It's cool. I like the style he did it. Very like the Southwest style. Almost looks like it's coming straight off of those Southwest blankets, right?
Yeah. It's got good colors too, so it looks like Vegas gold, burnt wood, and like a rust under.
Very good colorway. The texture that he did on the buffalo fur, that's really cool.
I hope they can really, if they really do this, I hope they can really raise that and make that buffalo head like really like kind of thick and textured. That'd be cool.
It almost looks like 8-bit or whatever you want to say. Like it's from like that part, like his fur, like it's from Oregon Trail game and stuff. You know what I mean? With that old school, blocky, pixely type detail on there.
Right. Yeah, nailed it. Good job, Jay. All right. Let's see. Ring of Fire, Sierra Gons. Are you excited about the eclipse happening on Monday?
I'll probably forget it's even happening.
Okay.
But if someone reminds me at work, I'll go out and check it out. But
yeah, make sure you wear your sunglasses.
Right. Yeah, no, I mean, it's cool, but I probably won't get too overly excited about it. If I see it, I see it.
So I made a hat. We were joking about. So I get one of the fellow collectors, Nikki. Shout out to Nikki. She was like, "There's an eclipse happening, and directly in the line, because we're in Toronto, we're right by Buffalo.
Mm-hmm.
So it's Buffalo. So we ended up having a design session together, and then we made a Buffalo eclipse hat. So now we're almost obligated to go to watch the eclipse at Buffalo. So
yeah,
that's what I'll be doing on Monday.
Oh, that's awesome.
And bringing our hat that we made together, the Buffalo eclipse hat. Yeah,
that's sweet. Hell yeah, dude.
So yeah, eclipse day. I don't know. They're already saying they've already declared a state of emergency, and we might lose cell phone stuff and whatever. So if it all goes to shit, I'll be in Buffalo. Find me in Buffalo.
All right. You guys heard it first.
He did a great job here. He hit the skull.
Yeah.
In there. This is cool.
Yeah, it's amazing. The effect he put on there, the glow around the eclipse, and just the subtleness of the skull doesn't pop out, but you see it, right?
Yeah.
And then the little glare he put on there, like the color choice he picked was outstanding. I mean, he did it. I don't know if he could do it much better. And it's not really his style,
Yeah,
like,
it's different. You can see that he's kind of trying.
Yeah, the skull kind of, when you look at that kind of like, okay, I see Sierra there, but this looks like something I wouldn't know that I wouldn't, say Sierra when I first saw this, which is cool, which is really cool.
Yeah,
he did an amazing job.
Exactly. On something like this, would you rather like the rays be more random? It almost seems almost too symmetrical.
I don't mind symmetrical.
Okay.
That's probably because I do a lot of symmetrical designs. But I mean, what do you think? I'm imagining it would be raised from the middle out, right? Like the outside would be flat and then gradually raised towards the middle. Is that kind of what you're thinking?
I think he would do it almost opposite, more raised in the middle, and then as it gets further out, it'd be lighter, I would assume, or thinner in the texture. But I was just talking about like the bumps of the rays. Like, would you like right now he has it almost like symmetrical.
I got
in a half. Like he halved it and then flipped it. Well, I almost would rather it just be more random.
Random rays striking out different lengths and stuff. Yeah. Yeah, I can see what you're saying there. I mean, it doesn't bother me, but I understand because it wouldn't obviously be perfectly symmetrical, like you're saying.
Yeah. I mean, it's not something that bothers me. I'm just kind of talking out loud, just making conversation about it.
Just little nitpicky stuff, but he did, throw it off a little bit with the little glare.
Yeah, he did. He did. You're right. So I still think it's awesome.
No, it's totally cool.
Yeah, good job, Sierra. So let's see. We got 7. Oh, this one's cool. So Win and Sassy Italian Brit. Okay.
I believe that's his wife.
Okay, cool.
I think so. I apologize if I'm wrong, but I think that's his wife.
I think we did that to you last week with your daughter, I believe.
No, that was my wife.
Oh, that was your wife. Okay. Some people said it was your daughter.
Yeah, so me and my daughter did a boxer design, a boxer dog, and then me and my wife did the Doberman design.
So we were right.
Easily confused. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. So Spring Bloom. I mean, this is kind of outside his normal, what we're used to seeing.
Yeah, no, this is a lot different. I wish they did the other colorway. He had a 2-tone.
Okay.
With gray, but they probably did it because that was probably too close to like the what's the name of the cherry blossom bloom with Aurelian and Gemini?
Oh, I don't even remember.
The super popular one. They just did a new colorway for it. Sakurami or whatever it's called.
Oh, the okay. Yeah, the Japanese tree with the
Yeah. So his other colorway was like that, So I like that colorway a lot better, but that's just being nitpicky on the colors.
Yeah.
But I really do
cool
like
color.
this. Yeah.
This is like the Washington Nationals CD Connect kind of graphite and pink.
Get some
I
light.
felt like you were getting darker and darker in there. Yeah, no, this is badass, and you know, I like him to see him kind of expand his style, but you don't normally see something like this from him. So
yeah, I don't think I've ever. He did a Hawaiian flower design. You know, probably like a year and a half ago or so. And he's done the roses and stuff, but nothing quite like this. This is definitely a lot different. I do like this a lot.
Yeah, badass. All right, let's move on to number 8. We got Bad to the Baboon.
Back to back.
Nice. Yeah, he's really screaming. Damn.
Yeah, that's pretty badass.
Bad to the Baboon. Nice. And he's holding a bone too. So bad to the bone, obviously.
Right.
Getting into the pun game. Okay, I see you win. I almost feel like he's screaming almost way too much. It almost looks like that could be like a cool like headdress for someone. Like if it was like a person wearing that or something.
His mouth's a little too wide open.
A little bit, but I mean, like you're playing with the proportions. You're kind of like humanizing him almost. Like he's got like a human body baboon head. So that's why I almost would think like it'd be pretty badass if it was just like some type of warrior wearing like a baboon skin or something.
Yeah, no, that's a cool idea. He did a great job with the proportions. That hand really, you know, definitely looks like it's coming out at you.
Yeah.
Do you want more body? Or do you want it like in? Does this one call for a circle? You know, like Raphael style or something?
No, I don't think it needs a circle. I'm like, it's like cool and it's like well drawn and all that. It's just for me, off rip, it's like you're confused because it's like it's either a dude or it's a baboon. But it's not. It almost feels like both at this point. So like that part is kind of weirding me out a little bit. Yeah, but I mean, I can't deny that it's not drawn well. It's a cool piece, and it's an elite pun. Bad to the baboon. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Yeah, I would just say if I were to give him advice, it would be either go more baboon or go more man. That's all. Other than that.
Yeah, I can see what you're saying.
Yeah. All right. Number 9, King Cool by the Dude. Oh, the Dude's back.
Dude's back. It's been a long time.
That's some really interesting colors at the front.
Yeah.
Like teal, like really yellow, and then like a fuchsia. This will embroider really cool too, I think.
Yeah, that's 6 colors, huh? Yeah, it is. That's hard to believe, right?
It feels like it's more, but yeah. It's just because they're so vibrant.
Yeah, that's crazy. I almost how
unless
do you feel about
the negative space and it's not actually there.
Yeah, I don't know if that's quite 6 or not, because then he has 3 in the background and then was using the same blue. It probably is. It's crazy to think something that vibrant is just 6, right?
Well, if you're counting 6, for sure the black is negative then. Negative space.
Okay.
Because there's no way that it's 6 with the black.
Which they probably wouldn't do it as negative space, I don't think. Do you?
It could work. Potentially.
Yeah?
Yeah. You just do everything else raised, right?
Right. Is there enough space in between there for the negative space to really shine if you do it? Or really, you know, kind of come through?
Where you would lose
detail-wise
is the border. If that's negative space, I don't think that'll look good.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking like the initial gorilla almost looks like it's almost like a stencil, almost like Banksy style stencil, like graffiti. Just layer get the one color, the other color almost looks like that. It's pretty cool.
Pretty sweet. Do you want the same type of colors in the background, or do you like the different? Because the background's kind of more muted colors, right?
Yeah, I would almost say get rid of that like that dirty turquoise and just make that like the black, maybe.
Yeah, I think so too. I'd almost like it to
And
go a
then
little bit more with the vibrant colors of the gorilla.
And then the sky can be something totally different than
Yeah.
the blue and the gorilla. I'd probably just aim that way, but it is interesting.
Darker sky, maybe really make the gorilla pop even more.
It could even be a white sky. It could even be a pink. Maybe not pink, but because there's that fuchsia color. But yeah, just different.
Yeah.
I mean, his color totally all over the place.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. I feel like he designs hats thinking like they're gonna be t-shirts almost. Like you could see the layers building, almost like a screen print.
And I think he started as a t-shirt guy, didn't he?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, so that makes sense.
Yeah. All right. Good stuff, dude. And last but not least, we got Creature and Heather, the Merlins. This thing is
happy about this one.
This one's gonna embroider good, I think.
Yeah, nice thick outline. I liked the other version better. They did too. But that's just because I'm more, I like more of the simple, basic stuff. That was the other one. This one's more cartoony.
Oh, okay.
But I think overall people liked this one a lot better. I saw in the comments.
Yeah, this one's cool. What kind of bird do you think that is? It's almost like a predator pigeon almost.
I have no idea. You'd have to ask.
It kind of looks like a pigeon, but he's got a beak like a hawk.
Yeah.
So interesting.
Yeah, it's very Disney-esque, right?
Yeah.
Something you'd see like in an old Disney movie.
I almost feel like his hood, it would be cooler if it just came down and you can kind of see like the rest of the bird's head, kind of.
Yeah, I could see that.
I almost feel like he's so young too. Like I would like age him a little bit, or her. But,
right.
Yeah, but still a cool piece. Heather and Creature. Look at that. I wonder who did more of the art. Now that's just like usually it's like a concept person with an artist. Now when like all these like kind of artists get together, I always wonder like who did what part.
I don't remember Creatures because he usually shows me all his sketches, and I don't remember his original sketch of this.
Okay,
but I mean, I remember she surprised him with it, and she showed him like 2 versions. So she really it was pretty cool that she's like, oh, I did this other version too, and it's completely different. But I imagine like this one was probably more his, like the sketch he would do.
Right.
He does he likes doing a lot of the kind of wizardy staff designs, but I'm not sure how close it is to his original.
Right. Okay. Well, great job, everyone. Damn, that's gonna be a hard week to get through.
Yeah.
I want to thank you for taking the time to come on and share your Friday night with me. We're recording this Friday night.
Yeah.
And, yeah, man, it was good to get to know you personally. On a personal level, I've seen you kind of around and in the Clink universe, and yeah, man, it was cool to do that. Like I want to try to get everyone, and I mean everyone who's involved, at least on once. You know? That way, I think like you're a great testament to this too, with just being able to have accessibility to artists and learn from them, and that's what it's all about. Everyone is kind of in competition of each other to do well and get into crits and whatever, but we all play on the same team essentially. So,
right.
That's what I really enjoy about the show and kind of how it's expanded the community a little bit in terms of the creators and concept artists and getting feedback. And I think you can kind of see it in the art. Like you guys are putting out good stuff every single week. So, yeah, thanks for doing it.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me. Like I told you kind of before we started, man, watching you 2 years ago on just watching views, I would just, a lot of times I would just fast forward to the Clink section, because I wanted to do the Clink ads and see what you guys had to say about it. But it's pretty surreal and just crazy to meet you and talk with you and be on the show. And I really appreciate it. And like you're saying, man, the community, like it's it's an awesome community. You know, I feel like I've made so many friends that I've met a few of them. I met Paco. I ran into him at the
that's awesome.
at the mall just randomly once. But you know, I talked to like Don and Patrick and so many people like on the daily. They're like some of my best friends, and I've never even met them. You know, it's just
that's awesome.
Everyone's encouraging. You know, there's hardly you know, any bad space in the community. You know, which is awesome.
That's what. All right. Well, make sure everyone give Levi a follow. Now the two artists ranked from Nebraska. But yeah, with that being said, Levi and Leon, we out of here.
Peace.
The cuffs, tables, and chairs, you better duck. Fight club, light it up. It ain't even fair, black guys in cuts. Bouncers afraid to approach. We pounce it, they should show an ounce of doubt that they can throw.
Brought to you by VFTV.